Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I wanted to discuss how bad the pro meta read is, and is there more to it? So let's hit the ground running. Placebo nerfs and buffs are a pretty big reason for shifts within pro play, and we will see this happen quite a bit as they want to remove champs and hopefully encourage people to pick new ones. So this is an example of a placebo nerf. This doesn't impact the function of Aatrox in pro play and what people are picking him for. However, the win rate will go lower, and people will suddenly believe that because this is nerfed his solo queue win rate, that he has become unplayable in pro play. Even though Aatrox originally was actually probably overrated in pro play, and there was a lot of answers to him. People weren't playing the answers, however, so he had a lot of strength in that. And in this, he is being nerfed fairly minimally towards, he's being tagged slightly on the damage and healing, and his bonus movement speed on R is being reduced. This will reduce his snowball potential and his overall scaling slightly. This hurts solo queue, hurts pro play a lot less, but people will see the champ as being unplayable, and slowly he will stop being picked, and that's what happens. A placebo nerf will do that. And I wanted to discuss why most things work. So an example of this is an example of champions which beat Jace using Plat Plus data. Obviously, using solo queue data isn't the same as what it doesn't always apply to towards pro play. But a lot of these champions do work well into Jace, and they won't see any sort of pro play. And that's the main kind of thought with this video. Why do pro players not pick these champions? And why do none of them try and learn them? We will see very few games of most of these and none at all of others. Things like Olaf, only Adam will really play within the LEC. Things like Ornn won't see play at the moment, even though Ornn's still a relatively good champion. And as Jace's win rate, Jace's play rate within pro play increases, we probably won't see, we'll see one of these come to light as being the answer. And then none of the others will be played, even though it gives a lot of choices within team comps and a lot more variety. We'll probably only see something like Gragas get played, which will be really weird. But that's what pro players will perceive as being the best answer and the only answer. So champion pools. This is another big reason why I wanted to talk about some of these issues. Pro player champion pools are very small, which is worrying because it means they lack innovation to create kind of new champions and new counters towards things and learn new champions. Someone like Summit, who was C9's top laner not that long ago, I can't remember who he plays for now. I reckon I'm pretty sure it's FPX. Plays basically 5 champions and then very few of other things. He will mostly stick to this rotation. And I mean, this is a pretty big pretty bad example of this is an example of a person who really refuses to play a lot of things, whereas Finn plays only 9 champions really, and that also isn't a lot when there are many top laners and more top laners than people actually perceive. This is where pocket metas come in. This is a pretty key concept. Things like Ornn, Fiora, Jace, Gnar, and now Cassante being the new kind of, this champ's strong, so we will learn it and play it. This is why we need new champions and rework, so people start actually learning more things than just their pocket pools. But these things will often just get traded out for other things, or people will start playing Fiora as an answer to Ornn, and then when Ornn gets nerfed, Fiora will suddenly stop being played as much. People will see Jace as an answer, Jace as an answer to Gnar, and then people will start playing Jace as an answer to Gnar. Jace will get nerfed, stuff like this. Even if it's less than but there's other options and people have the other choices, they'll very often just stay to these limited pools and then maybe one niche pick which they've actually learned to pick up and play. And why is this? This is mainly from a lack of innovation, whether it's players not being able to innovate for themselves or coaching staffs not really doing the research and just innovating for themselves on what they want to teach their teams. Things like Soraka top, this is something which I've said has been good for a while, should be getting played. It actually has value, and so does things like Shen of the same nature as a supportive top laner, as you're going to be less impactful than your other lanes, and it gives you map coverage. Things like Karthus top can work, but we're not going to see these because they're not perceived as top laners. And that's where job security plays a big part. If you're seen playing something which isn't part of the current meta, people will question you, and if it doesn't work, or maybe it has a couple of bad games, then your job can be on the line, and people will be questioning whether you should be playing at the level, like at that level, rather than, so when you're given the chance to innovate, you could be at risk, which is a very dangerous thing. So that is another reason why people will sometimes just refuse to learn anything other than a set number of champions. And then a lot of it comes down to copying other regions. If one region sees Chovy playing Tryndamere mid a lot, maybe another region will suddenly go, this must be good, and then start playing it, and suddenly it becomes a core pick within their region. And then as that drifts out, they will just copy the next thing over rather than innovating for themselves. They will copy the other regions. And I think this is really problematic at the moment within current league and, well, recent league in general. People are refusing to innovate. And the best year, like, example of this in a year was 2019 G2. A pretty underdog team. Well, it wasn't so much underdogs, but they were in a good position because of their ability to manipulate the meta to what they want. You'd have things like Pyke top and other interesting picks which change people's perception of the game and how it could be played, rather than this one-dimensional playstyle. You suddenly have this, like, opened up a whole way of being able to counter and answer things. So if you enjoy the content, like and subscribe. I've gone on a bit of a rant here. It's more of just my frustration about people's lack of just lack of wanting to innovate and make choices, and more just playing for job security and just copying. It's unhealthy, and it could really do with being changed. And whether Riot are the ones who are forced to break this by really changing patches, or whether someone out there will suddenly be, or like a team out there will suddenly be able to use innovation to win worlds kind of thing. I don't know if we'll see change for a while. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.